It says we're live.
Perfect. Let's switch courses. Bam. Right, let's go.
All right, so I was thinking, taking a few notes down of what to talk about and that.
Say no more.
So we shall see what I'll do. Let me get this.
Just quickly. I'm going to be open the tube so I can flip in.
I'm not freezing for you then, is that right?
No, you're clean, bro.
I don't know what's going on. So what I've done is as well, Lamar, is I've put the local recording on for both of us. So if you, because mine's a bit freezy at my end, it looks like. So if it's not at your end, then I'll take it. You can. It should save to your user.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool, man. All right, welcome to B2R's first podcast with Craig and Lanners. What we're going to do today is basically just run through a mid-season review, how we're seeing the Premier League going. We're not going to touch on Champions League and stuff tonight, but we're going to talk about the Prem, mainly kind of bottom three, top four, who's going to be the winner, who's going to be the top goal scorer, which is probably already done.
Yeah.
And then we'll run it through from there. So hopefully it'd be good to get some opinions either in the comments or after the video. So we can take it from there, Lanners. What should we start with, Lanners? Do you want to start with a winner? I know what you're going to say.
Mate. So obviously Arsenal are on top of the table right now, 5 points clear. City are second. Mate, I can't lie. I still don't think we will win the Premier League. I want to say yes, but I don't want to jinx it. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Haaland and Co are going to come back and beat us by at least a point or 3 points. I think we've still got tough games to play, especially City in the league, home and away. I think if we win there and we win away at Goodison Park as well, because that's not an easy place to go to, even though they're in a relegation battle, like we don't have a good record over there as well. So if we win those sort of games as we've done at the start of the season, like against Tottenham and United, then, I mean, sky's the limit. But it's that one man, that goal-scoring machine, Haaland, who's just keeping their title chase alive, really.
Yeah, I think I agree, man, to be honest. I think like you say, with the Everton situation, it doesn't matter who you're playing. The Everton's a tough ground to go to, but the effect of the new manager, whoever they get in, always seems to...
Storm Dash that they're trying to get in, so...
Yeah, get back in
the
side.
He knows how to fight relegation, so it's not going to be an easy game.
No, not at all. I think so. What you're basically saying is City. You don't want to get clipped by saying Arsenal.
I don't care. I can say Arsenal. I believe in my heart, I'm saying Arsenal. My head is saying City. My head is the more realistic answer. City can come back and go on that crazy run that they did in like 2021, where they won the league by a couple points against Liverpool. So City just have that ability to go on crazy runs, like 12 wins in a row. And with Arsenal, it's like we've got a good starting 11, but we're just starting to build like the squad depth now in terms of like the bench and stuff like that. So I think Arsenal need at least a right back and midfielder before the window closes. And then if we get those additions in the team, I think we've got a good chance of winning the Premier League. And I can't believe I'm going to say Arsenal's going to win the Premier League for the first time. I will actually see it with my eyes, 4K. Mate, nothing gets better than that.
Are you thinking... So who are you thinking that they're going to sign then at centre middle, hoping, I should say?
We've had options. So we've had people like Tielemans. We've had Douglas Luiz, but he's signed a new contract now, so there's no opportunity. Apparently, we're interested in Onana from Everton, from what I've seen of him. Because I went to watch, obviously, Alex against Brentford. I've seen Onana play, so he's a pretty decent midfielder. Yeah. It's mainly cover for like Partey, because Elneny's injured right now, and Elneny's a good version of Jordan Henderson. Just does what's on the tin. He doesn't do too much. But I don't in midfield. Who would I really ideally want? I'd say I'd want Tielemans in sense of high quality. You know, so when like someone like Partey is injured or Jack is injured, you don't see the quality in the team drop. The quality is just remaining on the same level, really. So someone like Tielemans, if you can get him for free or get him for like 25 billion this window, be a perfect signing.
Yeah, I think it's important what you're saying there because you're not trying to bring in someone to set the world alight like an Enzo Fernandez or someone like that. You're not going to pay stupid money for someone. It's just in case, as you say, you need that cover in case one of them to get injured because they are so vital for your starting 11. So if Partey drops out, I think Anana would actually be a really good fit. I went to West Ham, Everton. Alex got tickets on Saturday for us, and it was they look pretty poor to be fair. But Anana, some of the little things he was doing from centre mid, like he was like Cruyff turning, half turning, like against the CM, and obviously against Rice, who obviously I'm
Apparently,
West
we're
Ham.
interested in Rice as well, exactly. So even like Rice
Yeah,
possibly come in the summer. I
yeah, and
mean,
that's why I think it's important, as you say, just to get someone in, just to fill the gap in case somebody gets injured for now, because you don't want to go and spend a load of money if, in theory, in the summer you can get Rice for 80, 90, one hundred,
yeah,
whatever it's going to be.
yeah,
Because he's got the years. You don't need someone super young because obviously that will come with a cost,
yeah, exactly.
and you don't want none of this English tax either. So
That
I
English
think Anana would be perfect.
million, you know what I mean? So it's just like I think with Arsenal as well. When you look at the whole Mudryk situation as well, I can't even swear on camera, but you know, but the whole Mudryk thing. I think Arsenal, we wanted him, of course we did. Like he was twerking for us. He was watching our games, saying Arteta and the Brighton coach was the two best managers in the world. He was twerking. He's gone to Chelsea, but you can see with Arsenal, it's like Arsenal will not be. They won't be pressured in making signings. They won't be
No,
pressured just because Chelsea's in talks with him now. That Arsenal are now just going to flag out a load of money. I think with Arsenal they've been very acute and very shrewd with their signings from the summer before, like last summer, and even the other transfer window in the summer as well with Tomiyasu, Ben White. You know, really decent signings that can bring a whole team together. And then I mean Zinchenko and Jesus. I mean them two have just been an absolute revelation. I don't know what Pep was thinking letting them two go because they have changed the mentality in the dressing room from chasing top four to mentality of we can really win the Premier League if we really stick at it and we really get the job done and get the results we need to get. So big up Arteta because I can't lie, at the start I wasn't a big fan, but he's really like turned it around.
yeah, yeah, I completely agree, man. I think it's going to be tough, as you say. You've got a few big games coming up, especially like the City double is going to be massive. There's obviously as well kind of the aspect of kind of the longevity of the games, as you said. I think in 2021 it was when City went on a 19 game unbeaten run.
Mm.
Even with Haaland, people are saying that it does change. He changes their system and they don't look as good and stuff like that. But
But
at the
he
same
still
time,
scores though. Like you know what I mean? He still gets hat tricks. He still gets
yeah,
two goals, and as well as it doesn't look as fluid as it's meant to be. Like the replica I can think of when I think of when the fans are saying that is like Zlatan when he went to Barcelona. It wasn't as fluid, but they were still getting the goals. They were still winning trophies. They were still winning cups. You know, so Pep is able to adapt to a certain degree, you know, when it comes to players and who he has in his disposal. Because you got to think, 2 years ago, did they not want Harry Kane? And people were saying, how would he fit in the City team? Because Harry Kane's an out and out goal scorer like Haaland is. So I think with that, it's Pep is just a magician, mate, and Arteta is just the next level up, the next protege coming up, really. So I mean,
yeah,
City, in my opinion, City have nothing to lose. They have to chase us. They have to
yeah,
hunt us down. So that's
yeah.
my
I
opinion. Really.
agree. So just to finish that one up, then the winner is going to be.
I'm gonna say City. I still believe City can just edge us a little bit. I believe if we get the squad depth we need, then it'll be a lot. It'll be a lot more closer. Like maybe a point. If we can't, I think City will beat us by at least 3 points.
Yeah, I can see. I think it's going to be difficult because the problem is when you're out in front as well. It doesn't seem to be happening at the moment, but it's quite easy to take your foot off the gas sometimes.
Exactly.
and even though with City up your back, it shouldn't happen. But I think Arsenal haven't really had that game or two where they've struggled to like, not pick up points. I remember a
I
couple of years
think
ago, it was
when
like,
it was Newcastle,
yeah, there was a Newcastle draw. But like, I think a couple of years ago, like when Man United and Man City were going for it a few years ago now, about 5, 6 years, even longer than that. That when they had Wigan in the last game, United had, and City were playing
yeah,
the
yeah.
Aguero moment.
B2R and Sunderland, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then it was strange because there's a couple of games in that season. I think like West Brom, like both United and City drew with. So there's definitely them results out there. I think for Arsenal, where they could drop not maybe 3 points, but drop 2 points, for instance, away from like as you say like Goodison or something like that. There's definitely quite a few games out there that could possibly happen to.
Yeah,
But yeah, so you've said City. I'm going to say Arsenal to balance it out. I think it's tough because I feel like if Arsenal had an out-and-out goal scorer, someone that knew had a bit more experience, a bit of know-how, kind of with the Premier League, it would be in Arsenal's hands a bit more, if that makes sense.
I mean, MK is doing the job again.
Yeah,
I wasn't, I wasn't a
as
big fan.
yeah,
He's turning a corner. I think with players like that as well, you got to give them props when they're actually doing it.
yeah,
I was like everyone in the B2R chat knows I'm not a fan of Eddie Nketiah. When West Ham wanted to sign him for 30 million, I said I'll drive him up the A13 to Stratford and let him go. But I think with that is you have to bide your moments. You've got to, but when your opportunity is there, you got to take it. And I think with him last season, near the end, he took his opportunity. Games against Chelsea, games against Leeds, and then it's now gone into this season to where I used to think Nketiah is a player that can just come off the bench, make a difference. I didn't think he could like last the full 90 and make as much of an impact as he would if he came off the bench. So I just got to give Nketiah props.
yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, give him props for now. I'm just thinking like if you had someone, I don't know, if you had someone like a not even a Kane sort of level, like maybe like 15, 20 goal season player in there, it would give me a bit more comfort. I think with Arsenal that Arsenal can keep the goals coming. Obviously with Saka and Martinelli providing the assist and stuff, it's not going to be as difficult if you had somebody up top who was having to do it all. I think at
Yeah,
Spurs sometimes, like Son's hit a dry patch, for instance, recently. Kane's having to try and do a lot more by himself. I think
yeah,
if Arsenal would have someone to just kind of mend it all together, and as I say, Nketiah could be that, but it would be strange. It would go against the grain really to see Arsenal win the league with a front three, like average age like 24, whether it be 22.
I did it when it was 91, 92. I
Yeah,
remember pundit said back then you can't win the league with kids. I mean,
yeah,
they showed everyone in the country that you can. It's just about how you play your football, and it's about the philosophy. And if the players buy into it, there is no reason into why you can't win the league.
yeah.
And I mean, in my opinion, Saka's the best winger in the world right now. He just proves to me each week that he is the best winger in the world. The fact that he kept having Luke Shaw on Sunday backing up, and he's still coming forward with the ball, still taking Luke Shaw on, and just giving this guy nightmares is and the goal speaks for itself. The guy's just he's the truth. He's the truth for this country. He's an unbelievable talent.
Is you saying in the world? Are you saying that based on form and on talent, or just on talent at the moment, or just
I say
form?
on both spectrums of form and talent.
Yeah, what even above Rashford at the moment?
Yeah.
All right, okay, fine. So we've done the first one.
I can
We've done
see
the
him.
first.
He's like, "You sure
Moving
there,
on.
man?" I know what I'm saying. I know what people can say, Rashford, but with Rashford, it's he does it in moments. He does it for max 10. Saka is if Saka doesn't score, it's an assist. Even if he doesn't score an assist, he just has that influence on the team. I think you guys got to remember when he first broke into the team. I think the season after that in lockdown, he was carrying our team. And we had players like a Bamyan and like a Zet in our team. These are big players, big international. And this kid was like, I don't know, like 19 at the time, and he was carrying Arsenal Football Club on his back. So, in my opinion, I haven't seen Rashford do that. And I'm not saying Rashford is not a good player. I just believe right now Saka is better than Rashford. Even though Rashford is probably in the form of his life, I think Saka's just done it over more of a period of time.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I say completely. I somewhat agree. I think when I watch Rashford, it is very much more like the Marcus Rashford show when he's on form. It's not. There's no linking up. There's no kind of 1-2s in with a centre forward. And I think it's more difficult when you've got someone like, especially at the moment, like Weghorst up front. You're not. He's a hold-up player. He'll lay the ball off to you and let you do your business, but
Yeah,
he's not
exactly.
make them goals look special, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, no, I agree. So let's just run it back quickly. Winners, you're saying City, I'm saying Arsenal,
Yeah,
and then better out of Saka and Rashford. You're saying Saka, I'm saying Rashford.
yeah.
All right, cool. Good to see we
I
agree.
know, I know someone's going to clip this video right now and try and get me done on Twitter and try and get me cancelled.
No, I think it's me that's going to get done. I think in the chat earlier when we were talking about the
Saka
Saka
Foden.
Rashford Foden thing, it was interesting. Right, now, Lanners, what we're going to do next, we've done winner, so we'll next say top four. So obviously, you think City will win. I think
Yeah.
Arsenal will win. So we'll just do the obvious thing. I'm guessing you're saying City in top four. I'll say Arsenal in top four as well. So
Yeah.
we've got
So
two
that
done,
means
there's two places.
yeah. Oh my days. I don't know why, but I feel Newcastle could. In my opinion, it's between Newcastle and Tottenham.
Yeah.
Newcastle and Tottenham. I don't know. Let me see the table actually. Sorry. Because I know Newcastle's third. And
Yeah, I think they're still in third at the minute.
United's in the conversation as well.
Yeah.
Just let me have a look.
I think
So,
United might be third now, are they?
So Newcastle and United are level on points with 39.
Right.
Newcastle have a better goal difference. Their goal difference is 22, and United is 7.
Yeah.
So if I was being realistic, I think I don't know. Okay, Newcastle, brave statement. I think Newcastle could get top 4, and then final positions is between United and Tottenham.
Yeah, fine. I definitely agree. I think Newcastle will just have enough. I personally think it will go. Obviously, you think City first. I think it will go Arsenal, City, Newcastle. Sorry, Arsenal, City, Man United, then Newcastle.
So you don't think Tottenham get top 4?
No, I don't. I don't know why. Obviously, Kane's got his goals. I just feel Newcastle don't concede many goals.
Yeah, they're
And
defensive.
when you're not conceding, you obviously haven't got to score that many. So to pick up 1 or 2 goals in a game, you've won the game. So I think the defence is better. I think Tottenham go from either winning 4-5-0 to nicking a 1-0 or a 2-1 and then getting stuffed 3-0 or 3-1 or whatever. So yeah, I've got a feeling. So my top 4 prediction would be Arsenal, City, Man United, then Newcastle.
Yeah, I think
United looks strong.
I think that will be the top 4. I feel with Tottenham, there's not much cohesion within their team. I believe it's that front three of Kulusevski, Son, and Kane, and then in midfield, you can't really pick out a midfielder and say he can unlock your defense. It's too pragmatic, but that's what Conte's known for. You know, back three, across the midfield. He's got his wing backs, and then his front three do the business. And I think with Tottenham this year, I think they've just started really, really slowly. And I think you saw that 2 weeks ago in the North London derby when Arsenal absolutely ripped them to shreds.
Yeah.
We were just 10 times better than them in every aspect of the game in terms of passing the ball, pressing, attitude, motivation. And Tottenham just don't know what hit them, really. And when you only, and I heard it the other week as well, Kane scored 15 goals in that team. That is unreal, because I don't know where the supply line, other than his striking partners in Son and Kulusevski, I don't know where he's gonna get service from.
Yeah.
You see it on Monday as well against Fulham, 1-0 victory. So yeah, I think Tottenham will be bound to the Europa League, and I think if that happens, I think Conte could leave Tottenham if they don't get top four.
Yeah, I've got a weird feeling as well. I don't know why. I've got a weird feeling there's a couple of players he wants to sign in this window, and I feel like if he doesn't get those players,
Do you know who those players are?
well, I was reading about it today. So obviously they got Danjuma, but
Yeah,
supposedly he wasn't obviously on the radar really. They've
yeah,
obviously only
because he
got him
was
on
meant to go to
loan as well.
Everton.
Yeah, so they got him on loan. I think 6 months maybe to the summer.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting to see. But to be honest, mate, I think that's one of the positions they don't really need to strengthen. I know obviously it's good to have a bit of competition, like because Son's not playing too well. But it seems to me one of those players that I wouldn't drop him, even if
yeah,
he's not on form. I just think it only takes one game for him to get 1 goal, 2 goals.
and then he's done.
Um, and he's back. Do you know what I mean? He's one of the you don't, like as I say, form is temporary, like class is permanent, and he's hit. For me, he's arguably one of the real world class
Yeah,
players
yeah,
in the Premier League. So yeah, I've got a feeling that Conte will definitely be gone. Whether
right.
it's kind of
No,
in the
that
summer,
you can already sense in like interviews and what he does from the past that it's just a matter of time. He says he needs what 6 to 10 players that are shorter that know how to win. He needs them at Tottenham.
yeah,
Daniel Levy's not going to give Conte that.
no,
You look at it in the summer with Jed Spence, one of the brightest young talents to come out of England. Arsenal was interested. I think United was, Spurs were, and I can't remember the other club. I think it was Chelsea. So you got big clubs like that. You choose Spurs, but we're being told it wasn't a Conte signing. So he's not
yeah,
even being played. He's not seeing a minute of football to the point where they're going to loan him out before the
yeah,
window closes. And then he's going to come back in the summer and reevaluate his situation at Tottenham. So I
yeah.
think it's just a matter of time before he leaves.
Yeah, I've got a feeling, Lanners, this is going to get clipped. What I'm about to say, but I, what I'm thinking, and I was thinking about this the other day actually, is that obviously Chelsea got Graham Potter, and when they got him, I thought he would have been a good fit for Tottenham. Um,
Ooh.
but the players they've got passing the ball out from the back, the issue
That's
I
what
have,
you do.
well, the issue I have with bringing in a defensive-minded coach like Conte is that you need good defenders.
Yeah.
I
Defenders
don't
need.
think like he's used to having like Chiellini and Bonucci, and
Mm.
he's come over here. He's got Eric Dyer and Ben Davis. He's obviously got Romero, who's solid. I think he's one of the best in the league at centre back. But
Yeah.
you've got a defensive-minded coach with centre backs. Apart from Romero, as I say, even fullbacks. Like I think Emerson Royale is
Oh, and
awful.
first,
Ben Davis is awful. When they bring off Emerson Royal, they've got to put Doherty on, who's awful. Like there's
there's not
not
much
really,
competition.
yeah, yeah. There's
Because
not like there's no
they're
cover
all
either,
at
is
the
there?
same level.
Yeah, exactly. And I think obviously they got a decent keeper, but I think he's getting on now a bit.
Oh, Lloris is terrible.
Yeah,
If you
he's
can
getting
get
on a bit.
yeah, your near post that many times, you need the time's up. But I think what's just coming in as well is that Tottenham are in advanced talks with a sporting right back. I forgot his name, Piro. He used to play for
Pedro Porro.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm trying to get him in. So maybe that can be a difference. But again, I don't think it's just a right back Tottenham need. I think they need a whole new midfield.
yeah,
Like their midfield. Højbjerg is decent, but he's not the greatest.
yeah. I
You
like
got
Bentancur, to be fair.
Bentacle's he's all right. He's all right. He's decent.
Yeah,
But again, it's more you need that creative spark. With Arsenal, you've got Odegaard just in the 10. But you've also got players like Xhaka, who's doing the Roman box to box, who's a Roman 8, and then you got Partey as the holding. You don't see Tottenham with a Roman 8 like that. I don't even know who can play that position in their squad. You have Harry
yeah,
Winks, who's on loan in Italy, Lo Celso, who
yeah,
doesn't get played. I can name a lot more. Ollie Skip, who's average. I remember
yeah,
calling him the British Iniesta.
yeah.
Look how
And
that's
then
turned.
they spent a lot of money on a supposed number 8, didn't they, as well, with that and Dombele, and he was that guy just couldn't get fit, could he? So
Not even
yeah,
fit. I think he was more attitude as well. I
yeah,
really didn't like him. Didn't like his attitude. But I'm not. Do you know the thing with Dembele? I think there is a player there. I just think he needs the right coach and the right formula around him. I think
Yeah,
if you get those aspects out of him, he'll become. It's like Pogba, really. You know, United wasn't the best fit, so he's come back to Juve. Obviously, he's been injured, but I think once Pogba finds the best form in himself and for the team as well, on his day, Paul Pogba is one of the best midfielders in the world.
yeah.
And I think I'm not saying Ndombele is on the same level, but I know he's got a potential to be a high quality footballer, whether that's at Tottenham or somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. Right, let's run it deep down to the bottom of the Premier League table and see who you think is going to be your three to go down.
Right, let's have a look who's on the bottom three. Um,
It's tight down there. I've just seen now. So from
it's
14th to 20th, there's 3 points.
yeah, maybe like the Championship playoffs.
Yes.
Who will go down? I think Bournemouth is going down.
Yeah, I agree.
Southampton's going down.
Agree.
Do you know what? It's between West Ham, Leeds, Leicester, and Nottingham Forest.
So I,
Wolves as
do you know
well.
what I think? I agree with the same two as you. Do you know what my third one is?
You're gonna go Hammers, isn't it?
No, I'm going to go Wolves.
Oh,
I don't know why, but I've watched them the past couple of games,
oh,
and they've got a decent team, a very decent team. But like they brought out Matthias Nunes in, who doesn't really seem to be doing that well. They've obviously got Neves, Moutinho. Moutinho's past it, in my
yeah,
opinion. They've got rid of somebody, or getting rid of, I should say, somebody now at the moment. I think he's going out on loan. It didn't really click there though, which was at Gonçalo Guedes.
yeah. I don't understand that one. I don't get it.
No, I've liked him for a number of years. I wanted West Ham to get him 2, 3 years ago when he was, I think he was at Valencia.
Yeah,
But something's not right at that club, and I don't know what it is. And I've got a feeling they're going to struggle to pick points up. So I'm going to say Southampton, Bournemouth, and Wolves to get relegated.
okay. I'm gonna go Southampton, Bournemouth, West Ham. I just believe like I've watched West Ham play, and you've got a good bunch of players, but again, it's about formulating it on the pitch, making it click on the pitch. Sometimes you can do it, but I think when it comes to the big, I think how many bigger teams you played this year? When it comes to the latter stages,
Yeah,
I mean, I think you're just going to be blown away.
yeah. I think I
Because I believe
agree.
if you let Craig Dawson go, that's a massive hole in your defense. Because Ogbono's not a good defender. You let Diop go,
Yeah,
and
Diop was trash. I mean, he was awful. He was
you know
trash.
what I
Do
mean?
you know what? I think our centre backs are probably one of the strongest things in our team at the moment. If we can get them going, because like that, we've got that Naif Agerd, and he looks like on Saturday. I know he was only playing against DCL, who's out of form at the minute, but he looks solid, like proper solid. And Moyes was talking about him, saying how good he was. He had a good World Cup as well.
Yeah,
But I know what you're saying though, because like our next games are difficult, man. So we've got Newcastle away after the
I
FA
don't think
Cup.
you're winning that.
We've got Chelsea at home. We got
Draw,
Tottenham away,
probably lose.
and then we've got Nottingham Forest at home. We lost to them away from home 1-0, and I think it might have been the first game of the season actually. And then we've got Brighton away. So those 4 games we could end up with 0 points.
Exactly.
And then we'd be in big trouble. But yeah, it'd be interesting, man. So you're free. Let's finish on this one, Lamar, and then we'll move to the last topic, which is bottom 3. I'm going to go Bournemouth, Southampton, and Wolves, and you're going for
Southampton, Bournemouth, West Ham.
fine. All right. Least said the better. Right, I've gone for one more topic, lads. Here, the goal scoring is not really. I think it's done.
Yeah,
So in
that's over.
terms of like table positions, I'm thinking there's going to be a few answers for this one, but I've gone who is a surprise so far. So far, who's above where you kind of expected them to be?
What, a team or an individual player?
Yeah, team. Because obviously you got quite high up at the moment. You got Brighton, Fulham. Trying to think of any more. Obviously you got Newcastle, but then that wasn't expected. I wouldn't say, but
No.
it also hasn't shocked me if that makes sense.
Well, Newcastle in the top three.
Well, not top three, but as in like if you'd have told me they would have been in the top four, 19 games in,
That
I would
shocks me.
have.
That shocks me. I was thinking
Yeah,
around Europa League, Europa Conference. That's where they'll be top three in with what, halfway in the season. Nah, that
yeah,
if besides Arteta, if you was to give someone manager of the year, it'd have to go Eddie Howe, especially in the
yeah,
short amount of time he's been there and he's been able to change the culture, the players, the mentality, the attitude, the way they press. Like under Steve Bruce, you could go there and not even play at your best. Emery went there and won. I mean, Emery was a shocking manager for Arsenal, and he went there and won. If it
yeah,
was Emery now, even you look at it last year when Arsenal was chasing top four, the running was Palace, Newcastle away, Southampton away, and I can't remember the other team. But we lost because the atmosphere that he brought into that club from when he came in to now has been immense, absolutely immense. So that's definitely shocked me. Fulham, Fulham, they remind me of 08, 09 Fulham under
yeah.
Zoltan Gera,
Clint Dempsey.
Dempsey,
Yeah,
all them sort of players. They remind me of that sort of Fulham. So if they get Europe, like Europa League Conference or even Europa League, I wouldn't be too surprised because I mean, Mitrovic is just their main man and he just loves to score aerial goals and I think he's their top goal scorer now in all time, as in Fulham's.
yeah,
So, I mean, not really. Um, I think Everton have surprised me in terms of just the way they have capitulated, especially under Frank. Um, I think Frank is a good manager under the right circumstances.
yeah,
Uh, I don't think this was a job for him, but he tried. But I think if you have to blame anyone at Everton, you have to blame the board with the signings. I mean, Neil Mope for 15 million
yeah,
doesn't make any sense at all. Hasn't scored. McNeil, 20 million. I haven't seen anything of a replica of what he did at Burnley. When you look at the players on the pitch, Calvert-Lewin he's never fit. He's more interested in modelling with Tom Davis. Same with Tom Davis. They're more focused on Paris Fashion Week. So I think if you have to pick the four best players in that team currently, Onana, Alex Iwobi, Jordan Pickford, and probably Tarkowski or Cody, even though they concede goals, but in terms
yeah.
of leadership and what they can bring, I think Everton can survive. And you can clickbait me. If the opportunity is there to bring Alex back as a number 8 in midfield for Arsenal, I'm doing it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree.
I
Actually,
know what people are going to say is because he's my boy. No, I will do it because I think he will be a good squad player for the team. He can add something different in the squad in terms of the way he drives the ball and the way he can pass the ball in the midfield. You've seen it at Everton, the way he can link up play. He used to do it when he was playing it on the wing. But I believe if we could even try to re-sign him, I think he'll do well.
yeah, yeah. I think my I suppose biggest shocks of the year. I think my Newcastle thing isn't a shock. It
And
is to be it is to be third, but it's not a shock kind of what they're doing for me because like I heard about Sven Botman probably
yeah.
like last summer maybe. I think there's a few clubs in for him. I think Everton might have been one as well actually, but
Everton, Newcastle,
yeah, and then Newcastle, and then when they were getting him, I looked at a few like old clips and stuff, and I found a few games actually that he played in, kind of on YouTube, and they had like extended highlights, and he looked solid. And then they got obviously you got Nick Pope, who I think is a solid keeper. Trippier, he's playing. He was at Atletico Madrid for God's sake for 3 years or whatever it was, like, and then he's come and played for Newcastle, and
just turned the whole team around.
exactly, and it's clear that something was cooking there because he actually came out and said they said to him, "Oh, do you think Newcastle's a step down from Atletico?" And he said, "No, to be honest, he said I feel like Atletico was a stepping stone for Newcastle." And the interviewer kind of looked at him and thought, oh, "He's crazy."
Yeah,
But he knew something was cooking at Newcastle, and they only needed a few players. Like I think, like how Lampard did with Alex and put him in at centre mid when he was playing in a different position. Like Eddie Howe done that with Joe Linton, like when he put him in to
Joe
centre mid.
Linton couldn't score to save his life.
Mate, he's
Couldn't even
balling, isn't
control
he?
the ball, and then you convert him to the 8, and he's just. And I think that, but that's helped him though because of like his physicality and how much of a big player he is. He can use
Yeah,
that to his strength. With Alex, it's more technical ability.
yeah,
Alex has strength, don't get twisted, he's strong, but it's more his technical nous on the ball, his positioning, his awareness on the pitch. With Joe Linton, it's pure physique. Because I don't think he has the technical ability of other players in the Premier League, but he
yeah,
still makes it work, and he still makes them late Lampard runs in the box to get a couple goals as he did even the other night against Southampton in the League Cup. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, I agree, mate. So yeah, as I say, like Newcastle went a shock. My biggest shock, I think, is probably well, obviously not in terms of not a negative. Everton would be the biggest negative shock, but my biggest shock, I think, and it's not because of how they've been playing like last year, but I think there comes a time when a team comes up from the Championship, and they might be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, but they seem to fall off a bit. But Brentford just haven't fallen off. And I was
yeah.
thinking this might have been the year. Obviously, Tony had a point to prove anyway, kind of after the break. So he's kicked
I
on.
just want to say it was criminal not to take Tony to the World Cup.
Yeah, I completely agree. I still think
Callum
it
Wilson
would
could
have
do
been.
it, but
Yeah, mate,
Tony
he's
just
crazy,
proved
man.
something different. Technically gifted, physique, presence in the box. He's basically got plan A, plan B, and plan Z all in
Yeah,
one. But he had a point to prove. He proved it. He's still doing it. And I can't lie, I do agree with you with Brentford. I do agree with you with Brentford.
yeah,
I see them getting like Europa, like at least Europa League conference this year if they keep it up.
yeah, yeah. Completely agree. And that's the thing as well. Like, I think they're eighth at the minute, behind Fulham. Brighton are doing pretty well as well. So yeah, I think it's interesting seeing kind of how the second half of the season goes for them clubs because it's quite
Yeah,
easy for them to fall off. Like if you're eighth in a league, for instance, and you're pretty comfy, you're not getting relegated.
yeah,
If you lose 1 or 2 games, or maybe 2 or 3 games, it's quite easy for you to just think, oh, like let's get to the summer. Like we're not
mm,
getting Europa.
mm.
We're too far away. We'll probably finish like mid bottom half sort of thing. We're comfy. We're not getting relegated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I can see that happening with 1 or 2 of them, but I think obviously none of them are going to get relegated. I think whoever doesn't get relegated this year out of that current bottom 6 or 7, will only be saved because there's teams around them that
Well,
are shocking.
yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen. But I've got a feeling that, like West Ham, like you said, West Ham relegated. I think West Ham will be lucky because they'll just be. It sounds stupid because obviously that's why teams get relegated, but I think there will be teams worse than West Ham.
No, 100%.
That
And I
will
think
be
Everton, I think
difference.
Everton, as much as we don't want to say it, I think they're still in the conversation,
Yeah,
depending on who they get as their manager.
yeah,
Uh, if I was Farhad Mashiri, I would be safe and go with Sean Dyche because he knows how to do it. He's been
yeah,
there at
definitely,
Burnley.
definitely go with Dutch.
Bielsa is one of the goats of football, like in terms of being a manager. But his football style is too erratic, you
Oh
know.
yeah,
So they could, I don't know, score 5 but concede 3. And
yeah,
in the relegation battle, goal difference matters. So as well as it
yeah,
does,
yeah.
it matters at the bottom.
Yeah, I think you're bang on, mate. To be honest, I think Everton should get Dyche in. I think if they do go for someone like Bielsa, it's not the right style of football for them because they're not scoring many goals. So Bielsa's kind of style of football is attack and then worry about defending later.
Yeah,
And I think if they do that, they could be in certain games 2 or 3 nil down by the time they've had the chance to kind of get the ball and try and
exactly.
start an attack themselves. So yes. It's a good point. I think Dyche should go there, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you should.
We'll see. Hopefully, Alex and the boys can kind of kick on from next weekend. Get back going in the Premier League again, man. But yeah, I've got no other points to raise, Landers. If you want to end it there for tonight.
No, got no other points.
Cool.
I just hope Arsenal win tomorrow.
Yeah. Who have you got tomorrow, Landers?
We got City in the FA Cup at the Etihad.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, if we don't win, I wouldn't mind. I'd rather us focus on the league. But I mean, if Arsenal miraculously do the double, I wouldn't be surprised because my manager is a goat. Just hope West Ham don't get relegated.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. As long as West Ham don't get relegated, I'll give you the double.
I'll take it any day of the week. If you can give me Declan Rice plus that.
Not Declan Rice, though. You can't have the double and Declan Rice.
You're going to sell him anyway for 100 million. So
yeah, I think he's going to go. He's going to go in the summer. But
coming to me, mate.
I hope it's to Arsenal.
I don't see him fitting in at Chelsea, so I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. All right, Landers, I'll give you a text, and anyone watching, we'll catch you next week. We're going to do this a weekly podcast. So just to finish up, I might finish up with this, Landers, so we can clip it. So B2R from Sunday. Hang on, let me start this again, Landers, so that I can get the right date. Because we're not doing one this weekend, so it'll be weekend after. Right. So from Sunday, the 5th of February, B2R will be doing a weekly podcast, which will be Sunday night airing live on YouTube and any other socials that we add to it, maybe Twitter, put the link, and also put the link on the Instagram as well. And then we'll have some special guests kind of throughout the upcoming year. There's 19 or 18 games left for some clubs in the Premier League season. We'll be talking about weekly roundups, weekly previews, and discussing hopefully West Ham not going down, and for Lana's sake, Arsenal winning the league. So hopefully you can join us.
Hopefully, man. And we'll also be doing watch-alongs to your big Premier League games and Champions League finals. So we'll join us for that.
Perfect.
No stress.
All right, Lana, I'll catch you in a bit.
No worries, bro.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Appreciate it.